See Husted here.
Any changes to the agenda? Motion to approve?
So moved.
Support. Motion and supported to approve the agenda as presented. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Agenda is approved. Next is approval of the consent agenda. The regular board meeting minutes from October 18th, 2016, and the clerk's warrants and bills.
So moved.
Support. Cam.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, he said so moved. I think he's got the first S out, so we'll give that one to Cam. If David will relinquish.
I get paid the same either way, so I'm fine.
Yeah, I think David and I swim in the same pond, don't we? Pretty close.
All right. It's been motioned and supported to approve the consent agenda as presented. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed? Next, communications, number 1, Holly Township Master Plan Draft Review.
Move to receive and file communication number 1.
Support.
It's been motioned and supported to receive and place communication item number 1 on file. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Public remarks?
To have
We have
some
none.
too.
We have none, zero unfinished business, so we'll move to new business. Request to approve the newsletter.
Okay, so this is a pretty close to final draft. We can take some more additions. I know Cam just pointed out that because we do have a new increased burning permit fee, we're gonna put that in bold red in the actual language of it, so it kind of maybe sticks out a little more. But the only other change that could possibly happen is November 8th elections. So we will wait, we have a final draft we're gonna send to the printers, but they will wait and not print until after we confirm election results for who we have on the trustees.
When
But-
will that tax bill be mailed out?
Tax bills, newsletters, and survey, the goal is to be printed and mailed by the 30th, but the printers, we're going to print on November 4th, but we told them to wait till after the election. So they actually are delaying our job by 4 days from what they need to print and get ready and stuff and put in the envelopes. Because they do many, many other projects at the same time. So that, if there are any other changes you want in the newsletter, let me know by November 8th.
Okay.
But this is pretty much what it's going to look like if you want to approve the newsletter.
Move to approve with the
Support.
changes.
Support.
It's been motioned and supported to approve the newsletter with the changes. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Next is request to approve the road survey. There has been some, Marcy went back through it, and there was a couple of verbiage changes just to clean it up, so it has better flow to it, and thank you for that. And I think David had made one comment about changing one of the questions. Still have that thought, or?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not, it's not a hill I'm willing to die on, but it's just that when we look at question number 4, the question becomes, I think the question might be overly broad, and that we're backing into an answer that we're really not asking. And what I mean by that is, it says, the question is road improvement and maintenance a priority of yours? I think the question we really want the answer to is, and I know you're gonna ratify it here in a minute at the bottom of this, but I think the question you really want the answer out of that is road improvement and maintenance, or let me rephrase that. Should road improvement and maintenance be a priority of Tyrone Township? So we're asking them if that's their priority, but in reality, the answer that we're really looking for is, do they think that this should be a priority for Tyrone Township?
That's a good point, because
what if
really
we
it's the
just-
road commission's responsibility.
Yeah.
What if we just add the question in it as well? Just text, right?
Well,
I don't know.
good.
I don't think it's going to change the outcome of what we're looking for regardless of how we phrase that, and I have no problem with the proposed changes. I think it makes a little bit
I
more
just
sense.
think I think that's the question we're really asking.
Yeah.
It
But we're
tells
backing our
you-
way into it by asking the other way.
It's
so.
just kind of
It's,
verifying where the
sounds a little
responsibility lies.
It's softer than, is your opinion, should it be? It sounds softer when you're asking it, so it doesn't.
Well, it
like
sounds more like a directive question rather than just a,
Because it's really easy to say, is road improvement and maintenance a priority of yours? Heck, yeah.
absolutely.
Ask me a different question.
Should it
Do
be
you
a
wanna pay for it?
priority?
That's a different question. So,
I'm fine with that change.
Yeah.
Anybody
If
else?
It's a priority of the township. I think that sounds better, because it sort of redirects where responsibility is, too.
Would you like to make a motion on that?
so moved with that change. Hope you remember what I told you.
It's been
That's good, 'cause I'm
motioned
not sure.
and supported to approve the amended road survey with the typo, or the grammar corrections, and is it a priority of the township question? Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? That motion carries. Next is request to establish a computerized database as the tax roll.
Oh, yeah, this is, our Livingston County Treasurer is working for uniformity, and this was some legislation that passed, if you look on the back of the packet, there's the yellow highlighted. Last year, it was legislation, Public Act 140, allows that you can have a computerized database tax roll. Instead of having to print this huge thing out and have it displayed, it's costly and takes a lot of time and someone to put it together. So the county treasurer is taking on the task of having all townships, cities, villages in Livingston County to go to this computerized tax roll. There's like a state of Michigan form you have to fill out where the county treasurer actually has to sign off on it. And part of this form indicates that you have to have a resolution from your board saying that they're interested in using this type of service. So that is the whole purpose.
So the pros are that it saves time
Saves
and
time and
money.
money.
Any cons?
And the, well, the other pro is that it's just more, it's easier and efficient. It's more technology to the residents.
Are there any negatives,
The
downsides?
the only downside, which really I don't think is a downside, they do want you to indicate if you have a read-only terminal, but it's not that you have to have a read-only terminal available to your residents. I just have to explain to them how we have it available. They can come to assessing, they can come to treasurer, they can come to the
So
cashier's office.
you have to have
and get
access
that.
to it here.
Well, they would prefer, they recommend you have a terminal, a read-only terminal for a
Right. So the
resident
public
use.
comes in.
But if you don't have one, a lot of people don't. Maybe we will in the future from an old computer, but in the meantime, I can just explain that during a regular business hours, they can come to 3 different departments to access the information with assistance, or they can go online and get their own they can get their property record free online through the BSNA service we
Like
have
another
online.
data drop.
Is that through our website, the township website?
Yep, through the website, so.
Be difficult. I can do it.
and-
Refresh my memory, so when we say this, in this tax roll, what is included in,
This would be all of it shows your, like, any
so if you
public
pull up, if you
information.
pull up David and Barbara Walker,
They can view your parcel, your name, address, if you're paying your taxes, and then they can get some of the assessing record, basic information, the square footage, how much acreage of land,
Okay.
sales of the property. It's public information.
okay,
And actually, people can get it at the county website if they're willing to pay for it.
okay, I'm okay with that.
Make your motion.
So I will make the motion that we pass a resolution to accept a computerized database as the tax roll.
Support.
Been motioned and supported to establish a computerized database for the tax roll. Any further discussion?
Only one thing, and something I'd like us to double check, I'm pretty sure we bumped this up, but as we become more and more digital and less paper, can we just do a quick check with the guys over at Hub, or Burnham and Flowers, and just check in terms of what our loss,
Right.
what our potential coverage is for data breach?
Okay.
For cyber liability and any potential data loss?
Okay,
Because there's going to be, if we lose all that data as a result of something that happens, and it's not going to be because somebody hacks it, it's not the Russians.
Right.
It's going to be, somebody's going to leave a laptop, somebody's going to do something. I just want to see how much we've got available to now recreate all that, because it's going to be expensive to recreate it. So
Okay.
I just
And
want
that
I want to make
is-
sure we're not standing there with 50 grand, because
that
that's
is
not going to do
actually
it.
part of the form, the state of Michigan. I have to provide proof that we have password protected, and that's all through our IT,
Yeah.
right, contract.
But
So, yeah.
that stuff breaks.
yeah.
And so when it breaks.
So that system fails, what is our
That's
protection
right.
level?
How much
Or
coverage do we
protection
have?
level.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, any further comments?
None other than that.
All in favor signify
Wait,
by
wait,
saying
wait,
aye.
we have to do a roll call vote.
Oh, that's right,
Roll call,
it is,
so-
it's a resolution. Yep.
Chuck Schultz,
Yes.
David Walker,
Yes.
Cam Gonzalez,
Yes.
Marna Smith,
Yes.
Mike Cunningham,
Yes.
Soren Peterson,
Yes.
and Marcy Husted, yes.
Item number 4, request to approve the traffic prosecution contract. This is something that we do frequently. We have Jopik Rosati that does our traffic prosecution contract for us. And what that does is it allows the sheriff, when writing tickets in the township, to write them under our local ordinance, and we get a percentage of the traffic revenue.
So moved.
Support.
Been motioned and supported to approve the request to renew the traffic prosecuting contract. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? That motion carries. Next, item number 5, approve the cost to print and mail tax bills, survey, and newsletter.
And I did only provide the one quote from KCI. In the past, we've had some other companies provide quotes, and they're usually like double. I don't know why KCI says good prices. We made a couple phone calls just to get some like averages, estimates if we had this many printed numbers, and they were double what the cost is through KCI, so I just didn't even ask for the estimates. If you look at the bottom line would be, if you go to the 2016 price, the last two is 2016 and 2015, the price, those last two columns. So you can line item, total cost to do all of our printing for our newsletter that we just approved, the survey, and then we're gonna have our tax bill, we're gonna have an envelope that actually says tax document and survey on the outside of it, printed. So that's almost $2,000 for the printing, and then postage is the other part, so about almost $13.40 for postage. That's an estimate, so about $32.88 to include all of that to inform our residents and get their tax bills to them. And that includes all of the printing of everything, extra newsletters to have here, and that's our cost, estimated cost. We need approval
Make your
on
motion.
that amount. So I make a motion to approve the estimated about $3,300 for our winter tax bills with the newsletter and survey.
Support.
Been motioned and supported to approve the cost to print and mail tax bills, survey, and newsletter. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, that motion carries.
Not to be that guy, but if we don't pass
We
that,
have
it
no
means I don't have to worry about
miscellaneous
the tax bill.
business. Second call for public remarks. Since
You
we
missed the
have
first
none,
one.
I will take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Been
Support.
motioned and supported to
Sorry,
adjourn.
go
All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed? Meeting's adjourned. Thank you
Just
all
so I'm
for
clear on
coming
number
out.
5, we don't pass number 5, I don't get a tax bill? Maybe
You
next
know,
year, I'm okay with
I
that.
have an answer to that. It says in the Public Act and the general tax law
Yeah.
that if you are still
It was
responsible to
19,
pay
wasn't
even
it?
if you do not receive it by mail.
Even though I don't get a bill? Oh, okay.
So I
I knew there was a catch, I knew I was gonna get screwed.
I guess we could save that and just not mail anything out.
We just set a record.
Stick it to the man.
Did we?
14
Really?
minutes left.
We broke it?
I thought it was 14.
I like to talk more.
17.
If I hadn't changed that question, we could have been out